Hello everyone, I'm Draconicrose and welcome back to Equilinox. Look, it's a baby redfish. Cute. Anyway, to resume our tests in the game, we were trying to get a stable population of happy little boar. Well, we have one called Bobo with an environment of 93 and its mother Ursula with 94, but we need more of them, and I'm actually going to help that along by buying a wild boar. Where would the environment be good? Around here, yeah. But I'm going to try to poke them up a little bit higher. Yes. Good. That way they won't all be in the same place. So that is halfway to this is boring, which unlocks 2 tasks. But we'll have to wait until they breed and spread. So what else do we have? Well, we have Mary Berry, and I'm just going to tweak the sound volume quite a little bit because I can see that you can barely hear me. Okay, that should be good. So let's go back into the game, and where it's going. Mary Berry. Have a sheep eat 5 berry bush. So we need to unlock the berry bush and create an area for it to grow. So let's go look at the berry bush. Well, the berry bush evolves from the tomato plant, and the tomato plant is just something that we unlocked. So let's go ahead and look at the tomato plant, which should be around here. Here it is. I actually don't want to place one. I want to go to the information. This small plant grows relatively quickly and produces juicy tomatoes which animals can eat. It is, however, rather tricky to grow and can only survive at very low altitudes in very fertile grassland or woodland areas. Well, so we need to make a grassland below 15 meters. Well, we do have some. I'm pretty sure that this qualifies. Yes, it does. It's 100% grassland. Lots of riverbed here, but around here is grassland. So we can actually add our tomato over here. So let's add on and check what it wants to evolve into berry bush. It needs the color trait pink and the biome that is not grassland. Well, that is mildly uncomfortable because the tomato plant only grows in grassland. We do have this area, which right here would be a place to do it. It's not a grassland, it's somewhat of a grassland, but not entirely. So we could put a tomato here, right? And it should spread out and I'll become a mostly not grassland biome over here. Is that an egg? No, it's a mushroom. Okay, but first we also need to have it evolve the pink color, which is a whopping 15k diversity points. Well, you know what that means. We are going to spread up time. With time sped up and a whole bunch of diversity points in our hands, we can actually start selectively breeding this tomato into a pink tomato, which hopefully will spread around and help us evolve the berry bush. Our sheep are sleeping, aren't they so cute? It's adorable. This game can look like really good for something so low poly. I mean, it's an aesthetic choice, but still, it's different. Not something you see all the time. Now, I have already unlocked the setter, so well, another trait, dark green, and 2 animals nearby. So I guess I could try and buy... Oh no, that's expensive. Okay, never mind. You keep doing your thing. And how are the boars? Well, there's 4 of them already. So 2 more and we'll be home free for that task. So while the tomato... Yeah, look at itself. It's not great. While the tomato spreads and does its thing, let's go look at another task. Rabbit food. Grow some carrots in an area with rabbits, so that the rabbits eat the carrots. Be careful though, the carrots are not enough to satisfy the rabbit's hunger on their own though, so you'll need another source of food nearby. Do we have rabbits? I don't think we do. No, they're still locked. They are unlocked from the guinea pig, a fluffy little animal that shuffles around, prefers to live in either grassland or woodland areas and eats fruits, berries, vegetables and grasses. This little rodent is easily frightened and sometimes freaks out for no apparent reason. Well, that's the thing. But if it has 2 ash trees and 2 sycamore trees, it can evolve into a rabbit. Let's look at that. I think we have the sycamore? Yes. What about the ash tree? I don't even see it around. Let's look for it. So, ash tree, still locked. So we need to unlock it. And it evolves from elm trees. What is this? How to evolve. Oh, okay, no. We want that, but for the ash tree, which we don't have it. So we grab an elm, and eventually we can evolve it to an ash tree. So let's go look for an elm tree. They should be around here. And, well, it can already evolve into an ash tree. All it needs is for me to have the diversity points. So again, time to speed up time. And we start evolving, though this tree is going to die relatively soon. But there's more of them around, so it will be able to continue that thing. So we are going to need an area where there are ash trees and sycamores. So what do they have in common? Well, the ash tree can't actually get more info that way, but I can hopefully go through here and there and click here. It's dumb, why can't I do it from the other menu? Oh well. So it's a woodland tree and it likes an altitude between 20 meters and 60 meters. Okay, and the sycamore. I really want an X over there. The sycamore below 32 meters. So they kind of live in the same places. So there is that in their favor. Okay, so let's add... Well, I can't add a sycamore tree right now. Yeah. We'll have to wait and start planning out the biome, which I think could be over here. I mean, seems good, right? So as long as the altitude factor is good, I can plant it and add other things to it. Liked species herbs, so there is a herb that spreads woodland, which is the oregano? Yes. Is it woodland? Oh, the sycamore itself spreads woodland, so that's fine. So we'll add just a little bit of oregano around here. That should satisfy its environment a little bit more and actually spread the woodland, which it needs as well. There's a daisy over here that's about to die because these are bad environments for plants. Anything that has evolved? Well, this one lost its evolution conditions because the biome is not 80% woodland anymore. That's weird. So let's put a buttercup over here. That should help. Right? Yeah, there's some forest creeping in. That is so weird. But oh well, let's just add buttercups until it starts evolving again. Look at this. We have a tomato plant that is pink. And we have successfully evolved the ash tree, which is very good. So between 20 meters, so we'll grab this ash tree and move it all the way over here. And it should become okay as soon as I move the habitat. So grassland, forest, or woodland. It likes large rocks and flowers, so let's grab the large rocks. Rock, jungle rock. No large rock? Large. Nope. Maybe it likes any rock that can be considered large rocks. Let's see. Here. Info, habitat. Okay. Liked species 2 out of 2. Okay. It's the environment that is a little bit not good, so just gonna add some buttercup. Because they spread the woodlands, and that's good enough. But the altitude for this one might be a little bit too... Yeah, it likes to be between 20 and 30. So maybe around here would have been better, but for now I think that works. Even if they're not exactly thriving, they might not die. So how are the tomatoes? Well, the thing is, they need to be in a not grassland biome while still being pink. And I think the best way to do that is to let the pink ones evolve and breed themselves, and then transplant one somewhere else, somewhere that is not grasslands, which a little bit difficult because everything is pretty much grassland around the place. At least a little bit grassland. Yeah, not even right here. Well, we have a woodland here, which I guess I could go populate with buttercups, just so that they spread a full woodland. But we finally have the 6 satisfied boars, which unlocks 2 tasks, a bird in the hand and forest, flora and fauna, that we can move to. We have unlocked 2 new tasks, and where are they? Well, a bird in the hand we've already done because we evolved the sparrow. Use the chicken to breed the sparrow species. Once you've got some sparrows, make sure they're living near some suitable trees for nest building. Trees with a long life length and plenty of branches work best. After a while, the birds will start to build a nest. Have a fully built and filled nest of eggs in the world. Unlocks the jungle grass, unlocks the in the jungle task, and gives us a bunch of points. So we have the jungle grass species, which spreads the jungle biome. That's a new and exciting one for us. What else? We have forest, flora and fauna. Unlock some more forest plants and trees. There are 3 trees to unlock and 3 plants to unlock. If you breed all of them, you'll unlock a new species for the snow biome. Okay, so we have already evolved one of the forest tree species. We have evolved the heather. Now we need the fern and the sage. And we unlocked the fir tree. Fir? Something of the sort. Okay, so first let's go look at the fern. The fern evolves from the rosemary by having dark green big rosemary. Okay, let's find some rosemary. Something that is easier said than done. So here's some. And let's look at it. Well, evolving the sage would be faster. It's 3 stones nearby. It already has the rest, so... actually... 1, 2, 3. Right, let's give it a second. And start evolving the sage. Right, the fern also requires some rosemary. But in this case, it wants us to have dark green rosemaries with a size of 0.10. So we need to have a 9% increase in the size of the... Oh, darn it. I bought that ability instead of size. Well, shit. Let's go with the 10% increase. Fine, this is the super rosemary, which was terribly badly chosen. Hopefully it will breathe and give us some rosemary with the characteristics we want here. We have successfully evolved a sage. A leafy herb, this plant can grow in either grassy or forest areas and can provide food for smaller animals. So it grows well in barren land, grassland and forest. So we're going to grab that one and bring it over to here-ish. Is it okay over there? Not quite. It wants liked species, which are stones and grasses. Okay, we can give it stones. Right? Good. What about grasses? All types, small plants, grasses. We want a grass that lives in woodland. Does it spread anything? Nope. So we can use the barley to make it better for the sage. Okay, still not exactly 100% good, but it'll do. How are our pink tomatoes going? Look at that, they're so cute. Very, very pink. Let's go look at the red ones. There they are, leaving a little bit of color to the place. But the pink ones are super cute. And we do want to transplant one, this one. Let's transplant it over to where I prepared this area, which should be good enough to evolve the berry bush. So that is one way that you can move plants to, well, plants and animals, to where it would be suitable for them to start evolving. Just transplant them, grow them somewhere where they're okay, and then transplant. So we have the animals going all over the place, and we still have a whole bunch of area to colonize. Well, colonize is not exactly the correct word there, but it's good enough for it, to be honest here. Let's look at our tasks again. Carrots, apples. We do get the points automatically every time we complete this, and so we just get the points. Flora and fauna, we have the sage, now we need the fern. And we did have some rosemary doing the job here, but did we ever get good enough ones? I don't think we got the dark green. No, unfortunately I think our rosemary died before it evolved. But this tree evolved a mutation. That's so cool. I have like a blue tree over here. I'm going to make it selectively breed. I like the unnatural colors, and if it occurs through RNG, that's even better. Means I didn't have to go ahead and manipulate things into existence. It's always nice. Let's go find ourselves a... This area is so barren. Let's go grab a rosemary. It has no, like, does it spread anything actually? Yes, it spreads forest, so I'm just going to put a few here. And we have the berry bush. And let's look at what it wants. It wants trees nearby, so if it spreads forest, then we want forest trees. And the cheaper one is the tall tree. So let's do that and let a little bit of forest start developing around here. Anything else? No, just species, just trees as light species. The altitude is poor, but between 15 and 55. Oh, right, the altitude here is pretty low. No wonder that they live better there. I'm not sure if these will survive then, in which case I'll just leave them alone and start looking at some of the ones up here for evolution. Well, they're all pretty... well, this one is okay, so let's selectively breed you. 10 more points, not too expensive actually. There we go, so you will start selectively breeding for dark green and size. And you're pretty young, so you have a good chance of managing it. Now, this berry bush actually kind of needs to be moved closer to here. Let's look at its habitat. Below 50, forest or woodland, but it doesn't like large rocks. So around here it's pretty good. It needs more forest biome, so again, spreads forest. Rosemary is right, the altitude thing. How about the heather? The heathers do enjoy this environment. Yeah, look, our ash trees they basically died. They don't really live well over here. We're gonna have to get them somewhere else. But there we go, we have the berry bush, which evolves further. But do we want it to be eaten by some sheep? Don't the sheep... well, the sheep pretty much live anywhere, and they like trees. So, just gonna put one here. There we go. Now this sheep should grow and start eating berries when the berry bush grows and starts producing them. So that is good. That means we can go on to another task. The carrot's eaten, we need to unlock the rabbit and the carrot itself. Which means we needed a suitable place for guinea pigs. Below 55, yes. So it says about that, right? Let's add like a few guinea pigs to where they're good. Oh, right here seems to be a pretty good place for them. I just don't have the points. Right, there we go. Another guinea pig. They should be fine. Plenty of food around for them. This whole area has a lot of life. And look, the grey boars do manage to stay around even though they're in close proximity to brown boars. And there's like a black sheep and a white one. Hopefully they'll manage as well. Where did that guinea pig go? Oh, here it is. Look at it, roaming around. So nice. It just needs ash trees to be nearby. So I guess the ones on the other side will be better off than the ones over here. Now that sheep should eventually come eat some berries over here. For now I think it's eating tomatoes. Pink tomatoes. That is a thing that this game allows. Let's look over here. It has neither sycamore nor ash. So let's go look at them. Sycamores would be good over here. The ash tree is actually far too expensive to put down right this moment, but they should be around. Where do I have one? I've been looking around and it seems like, unfortunately, none of our rosemaries became a dark green rosemary. It's rather odd, because it was being selectively bred and it just didn't. What I'm going to do is grab a rosemary and put it where it's good, and then quickly start the selectively breeding for a +10 size trait and the dark green. That's all of my diversity points, and I'll keep an eye on it actually. Alright, I see what happened. This one was a little bit more fortunate than the other one. It was eaten actually, but first it managed 2 offshoots, which gives us a lot more probabilities of getting what we need. However, this one would already be enough. The thing is, not eat my rosemary. The thing is, if it doesn't breed, then there won't be another one capable of carrying on the evolution, because its sibling is only 105. The second rosemary lived long enough to give us this offshoot, and this one I think is an offshoot from this one. Unfortunately, they also got eaten. These sheep, they're terrible. Terrible, I tell you. And the boar don't help either. With mushrooms and apples and grasses to eat, they're eating my rosemaries. Darn it. Alright, we have a new one. I am going to start the evolution process, and hopefully we can get enough of them evolved that we can continue the fern. Oh well, here's another one. I'm actually also going to make it selectively breed, just to make sure we are getting that darn fern going. Now, one of the trees that I was looking for that we could unlock that is also a forest tree is the juniper tree, and all it requires is to have animals nearby and the color trait dark green for the tall tree. So I can grab a relatively young one and start getting it straight to dark green, which I do have the money for. Haha! Alright, so this one will spread about and evolve and stuff, and we'll see if we can't evolve a second forestry for our task over here. And we have successfully evolved the fern. So it likes to be below 60 in forests or woodlands. So yeah, around here is pretty fine for it. So it will be happy and good. I think we can add more of them. I don't think the fern is especially expensive. No, it isn't. It's not cheap either, but I do want to spread them around a little bit. So yeah, I'll put another one here, and that will be enough for our purposes. Now the thing here, we need ash trees. They're happy here, but they need ash trees, and ash trees are expensive. 22,000 diversity points. Yikes. And over here wouldn't be a good place for it, even though we do have some guinea pigs. They're not very happy over here. And we have complete the Mary Berry task, which means the sheep has finally eaten 5 berries, berry bush things. We unlocked the yucca and the deserted task, which means we not only have a plant, we have a new biome to explore, but not quite yet. Now our tall tree has finally given us a dark green offshoot. We just need animals over here. So let's see. Chicken? No. No. Sheep? Always a popular one. Could be. Yeah. Let's add sheep and perhaps guinea pig. Guinea pigs wouldn't be that bad over here. Let's look at something else. Wild boar? Definitely not. Duck? No. Sparrow? Yes. it enjoys the place. And that means we can start evolving the juniper tree. And when it does, we are concluding the forest task. Now this poor sparrow, still a baby, and we'll have to graze around until it can start building nests. Over here it will be hard for it, but I think it can get over to the birch trees over here, so it won't be too bad, I don't think. Now we have enough money for the ash tree, so let's look at it. It kind of wants to be higher up, which makes it a little bit difficult to put it where we want. We actually need a, despite not ideal altitude. Well, this one is good. Yeah, let's put it over there. And see what other light species it's missing. So it likes large rocks and flowers, so it must be the rocks. Yeah, which, again, it's a plant. Or maybe the flowers were the problem? How many light species? 1 out of 2. Does this not count as a flower? What's the biome over here? It's mostly forest. So let's look at small plants, flowers that live in forests. Well, the heather counts, and so does the daisy. So I don't know why it's saying there's no light species. There's stones around, there's flowers around. I have no idea. Well, we finished the forest flora and fauna, and thus unlocked the fir tree into new tasks. Ooh, what could it be? But the fir tree is going to be snowy, while the juniper... Well, the juniper is a foresty one. I think here is a good place for it. I mean, I don't even know. Nope. It's not. It wants to be higher up. Well, how much is a juniper tree actually? Juniper tree is about 3,000, so we'll just pop one down here. Quite a bit cheaper to do that than transplant one. I mean, if it's a vanilla tree, it just doesn't make sense. Now this tree, I don't know what's up with the light species. It has stones, it has flowers, I don't know. Like if I go... I actually don't want to search, I want to go... Rock, stones, large stones. Well, here's a rock. There you go. Does that satisfy you? Oh, it does. Okay, good. So now we have to wait for it to spread out, and also we have to see if the guinea pigs will go... Are they running in circles around this tree? That's actually kind of adorable. But it should get over there and eventually be able to enjoy things. Now, here's the thing. There's this ash tree, right? This is an oak tree. These are tall trees. And this is a cedar. None of those are sycamore. Which means we actually have to add those. And see how close we can get them. There we go. So the guinea pigs should eventually be able to be satisfied and have the conditions to get evolved into rabbits. That's the words I was looking for. Now I did get a notification saying a rosemary was born with a strange mutation. Since I didn't click it immediately, I didn't get to see what it was. I hope it was good, and I hope we see that mutation out in the world. You'd have to be lucky with the way the animals eat the rosemaries. Well, since our current biomes are mostly in processes of expanding and evolution, I think it's time we start making a desert. Now, a desert would be somewhere with low water, and which is kind of hard in this map. So over here in the corner seems good. How are the altitudes here? It's like 20-ish, yeah, 9, 8. Okay, so I think that's a good altitude. We need to start then spreading it with at least 3 different types of cactus. Well, we know we have something that spreads desert, and that is the yucca. It's not too good, but the altitude factor over here seems to be great for it. So we'll add a few. Can't even see them. Not very well at least, but you can see that they're little tufts. And let's look at the task while that is going. So we need small cactus and prickly pear, okay? Small cactus right here develops from the yucca, and to make it evolve, oh, it actually evolves into the other two, okay? So it needs to be below 15 meters, and it needs rocks or stones. That's pretty easy to get, so let's add stone over there. Still not good enough, it needs 2 of them, okay. And unfortunately, I think that one is dying and it didn't actually breathe. But we will start the evolution and then we'll see. I can always, of course, just add more yucca. Oh, they don't like rocks. That's interesting, actually. Especially because they evolve by getting rocks near them. Weird. Okay. The prickly pear, however, it just needs to be a big size. Okay, so we'll grab a baby yucca and start breeding it for... what did it say was the size? 0.8. Okay, so we need 7 more. Let's buy that and let it grow and create the desert biome. But looking at the time, that will have to be it for this episode. Join me next time as we continue to expand the desert biome. Maybe take a gander into a snowy high altitude biome or even the jungle. But until then, please subscribe for more Equilinox, and remember, here there be dragons.
Thank you so much to my patrons for making this channel possible. Click the Patreon logo to become one of these fine folk, and if you enjoyed the video, here are some more YouTube things you would like. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.